It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the number one business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission really is to inspire, our mission is to empower, and our mission really is to provide you, the hardworking entrepreneur, the backbone of these United States anyway, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And on this episode, we have the one and only Marcus A. Wright. What's up, Marcus? How are you? Welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show.
Thanks, Shay. I am happy to be here. I'm great, man. It's been a great week, a great day. It's actually been a great 6 months of the year.
Well, good, man. I'm really excited for that. Now, folks are going to read your bio. They'll see how famous you are. They're going to Google you and check you out and all that. But I'm curious because they saw this thing called right mentality. And I think it's a fair way to start off by asking what in the LL Cool J is the right mentality. So give us the definition and the mission and why it exists.
Man, the right mentality is my mantra. And actually, I was able to finally get everything approved. So my company name is switched from Marcus A. Wright LLC to Right Mentality LLC. And I have it
Congratulations.
tracked. So I'm super excited. But Right Mentality is all about helping you find you, for you to be the best person you can be in your life, in your career, in your relationship, in anything that you're working through. Because I believe that we're all like lions, right? Lions are the most courageous animals out there. Why is that? Because they hunt in the middle of a storm. It doesn't matter. They don't hunt when it's like nighttime and it's just a beautiful night. No, they hunt in thunderstorms. They'll hunt in a hurricane. It doesn't matter. When they're hungry, they hunt. And the second part of why I came up with it was courage is the first part, but resilience, right? And when you look at resilience, in all honesty, the eagle is resilient. The eagle is resilient because no matter what, the eagle will fly directly into a storm. It won't go around it, it won't go over it. It goes directly through the storm to either eat or get home. And it's resilient in what it does. And I choose these two animals because that's how I live my life, with courage and resilience, no matter what I'm going through.
So what do you say to the person who's listening? They're like, okay, that sounds good. But what are the biggest challenges, I'll say, that people have having the right mentality and mindset when there's so much on the internet these days, right? It's not like they can't turn on Instagram and get the Holy Ghost. I shouldn't say that, and get excited that that's there.
Right.
They can go anywhere. But here's the question for you, because you're the expert. This: why do people struggle? What are the challenges, and why people still struggle with just having the right mentality when they've been told it their whole life?
They struggle because they look for motivation. Motivation is great, but motivation doesn't take you to the next level. Motivation gets you excited. It makes you believe that you can move forward. But if you don't have the right mentality on those days where you need to push yourself because you have to have the discipline to continue to move forward, you're not going to succeed in whatever you're trying to do. You got to go through the storm because we all face them. So it doesn't just take the motivation and the words of encouragement that they see on the internet. It takes courage within yourself and resilience to understand that you must be disciplined to move forward. And that's what I coach.
Now, with everything going on in the world today, with mental awareness, I'll call it that, and mental health and so forth, and so many challenges, whether you like this president or the last president, or you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, I don't know if it matters, or you're conservative, but with so much going on, talk
Mhm.
about mental health and how right mentality kind of works together and helps folks on that level. And then we'll come back and talk about the superstars.
Well, to be quite honest, it's like this. You said something profound. Democrat, Republican, who they're voting for, who they're not voting for. At the end of the day, it's about you. So when we go through challenges every day, when we look at the world from, it's being so divided and everyone has their opinion and it's difficult, we have to look at how we are on the inside and have some self-awareness. And when we don't have that, we go in different directions and it affects our mental health. So I'm all about helping you to look at you, become more self-aware, and figure out how you can have that courage and that discipline to move into the areas that you need to go through. It's very important to have that because I coach emotional intelligence and I coach personality and I coach adaptability. Three very important criteria to do anything. And when you understand that about you, you become more self aware, which helps you to be able to communicate and actually talk about your emotions. And it does help your mental health.
Well, I went to DC public schools, man. So, when you start talking about emotional intelligence, you might have lost me in some of the crowds. They're like, Shay, can you slow this guy down for a moment? Like, well, I teach emotional intelligence and I teach personality styles. Gentlemen, he's used to talking to corporate folks. We got folks on here, Marcus, that some of them are dualpreneurs. They work a full-time job and they come
Mm-hmm.
home and they work a full-time employee, right? And they take care of the
Right.
family, and they take care of the kids, and they got responsibilities in the community. So we're all wondering, if you can slow down for a second, what
Mm-hmm.
is emotional intelligence, and how does it impact me, Shay Brown, every single day?
Emotional intelligence, in all honesty, just a big word, but it's very simple. Emotional intelligence is really your ability to understand yourself and your emotions and how you feel, and to be able to effectively communicate that to any and everyone that you're speaking to. For example, when you're frustrated and you're angry, one emotion is that when we're in that mode, is we want to react in a negative fashion. But being emotionally aware is to understand that I'm angry. I need to take a step back, calm myself down, and think about things rationally. As an entrepreneur, as someone coming home, as a dualpreneur, you're going to work and then you're coming home building your business and you're taking care of your family. You are going through an abundant amount of different emotions. So when you're doing that, you just need to understand where you are at that moment to be able to discuss how you feel so that you can make real, rational, and intelligent movements for whatever you're working on.
And you
It's
talked about
that simple.
personality types. Give us a little bit of the backstory on personality types. You said there's three things. I remember hearing emotional intelligence, and that really grabbed me. And then you said, but also personality types. Are they interrelated? Are they one and the same? Are they two different things?
They're completely different things, but they do connect. Here's the thing, we all have a personality, and we sometimes don't understand our personality. So I'm a person that works with people to help them understand how they communicate because personality and communication go hand in hand, right? When you're able to communicate effectively, you're able to understand your personality because you know if you're a person that wants to know information and you need all of it, or you just need a little bit of it to make that decision. That's all part of your personality. That's all part of who you are. And I love comic books and superheroes. So when I think of personalities, I take those comic books and superheroes and I help people by mapping those people, those characters to how people act throughout each and every day. And it makes it real easy to to help them to understand how they're feeling and where they're going.
Yeah. Can you talk to the folks who are the superstars? I know all y'all woke up because he wasn't talking to anybody else, but all the superstars out there that saying, "Whoa, how can I use this emotional intelligence and the right mentality?" Because I happen to manage a team. Now, some folks may have virtual teams. Some folks may have one or two people, employees that work for them, or 1099s. And then there's other folks that run large organizations that are watching and viewing right now. So it's kind of an unfair question, but you can handle it. How can the leader of a team take the right mentality and emotional intelligence for now, keep it simple, and see it inside their team so they can get better results faster, and which obviously makes the organization grow and everyone's excited?
Well, first of all, I put it to you very simple. I love this analogy. Everything we do is tied to emotions. And if you're a leader, you're dealing with everybody's emotion in your entire team. You're dealing with all of them, right? Everyone thinks that I got to be the smartest. I must be the most intellectual person in the world. I got to have the highest IQ. But that doesn't make you successful. What makes you successful is understanding your emotions and your team's emotions at that moment. Because then you understand who you can depend on and who can handle more of the more difficult tasks versus someone that can't. Because you know where they are emotionally. You're listening, you're learning, you're communicating with them, you're talking to them. And I use that and take the right mentality and I interject all of that into a team with the leader so that they're able to recognize their entire team and get everything done. Because when the team is harmonizing together, everyone's on the same page, everybody's making money, everybody's completing tasks.
Hmm. They're wondering, who is this guy? Who is Marcus A. Wright? Shay, can he share his backstory? That's a fair question. Shay, what was the defining moment that led him to be so far into this whole right mentality movement? So a two-part question. Who is Marcus? That's a fair question. What makes you great? And then what was the defining moment that, well, got you to where you are now?
Well, Marcus is just a regular guy, right? I'm a family man. I have my wife, my kids. I've spent years playing football all the way through high school, had a scholarship, turned it down, and that was because of some tragedy that happened in my life with my mom being sick. So I decided not to go away to school. I said to stay home and help my dad take care of my mom. But I'm just a regular dude, and but I study people, and I have been studying people all of my life. So what got me into this? Well, as a kid, I grew up with grandparents that always taught me that no matter what you want to do, you can do. No one can tell you what you can do. I mean, what you can't do. You're the only one that can get in the way of what you're trying to do. Only you. And I started to believe that throughout my entire life. But when my father died in 2007, my life changed and I didn't know what direction to go in. But then 7 years later, when my younger brother passed away, it devastated me to a point where I didn't move. I didn't even know what to do. I was lost. I was just existing and going through life. But then I started to remember what I was taught. It's about your mindset, Marcus. You got to have a strong will. You got to have courage, and you have to be resilient. And that's in 2013, the right mentality was first mentioned, but in 2014 was when it started. 2016 is when it evolved. And that's when I really took the bull by the horns and started moving forward with it.
Oh, that's incredible, man. Thanks a lot for sharing. Thanks for being so transparent. So for folks that are listening, and myself included, they're wondering, hey, Shay, are there three steps that I can take to bring myself to have the right mentality? Because you was able to bounce back. And they might be like, okay, Shay, I'm going through something right now. And we don't know what it is. Could have been a call from a doctor. Could have been a call from a loved one. Something could have happened. You're here. They're listening. They figured out
Hmm.
right mentality was about mindset and so forth. And they're thinking, Shay, he's the expert. 1, 2, or 3 ideas that I can do to kind of get me back on track again.
One, one of the most important things I learned when I was a kid: accept whatever's going on in your life. You can change it, maybe you can't, but you can't go backward. You have to go forward. So accept it, look at it, and learn from it. Move forward, no matter how you have to do that. Two, there are two questions that I live by. The first question is, as I'm going through a situation, I have a choice. Do I sit in it, cry about it, let it stifle me, and I feel lost? Or do I take the time out to learn from it, look at it, analyze it, write it down so that I can learn from whatever happened to me at that time? Those are the two questions that I live by on a daily basis. And the last and the most important thing for me is journaling. Why do I say journaling? Because what we don't understand as people is we live in our mind. We stay here. And if we don't get the negativity out of here, it stays. So when you put it on paper, it's like a cleanse. So if you have to type it because you don't like writing, you type it up in a journal. But you cleanse your mind by taking all those negative forces out. Get them out of your head. Because the moment you get them out of your head is the moment you can learn and recognize what you need to change in yourself to be the better person and to be the successful person that you're trying to be.
I love it. You can't leave us hanging, though. We're all curious. Journaling. Does he use a journal? Does he like write it down? Or is he the guy that's putting the journal on the phone? I kind of
No,
like the day one. So I'm a phone journal guy. But
I'm a
you,
old school. I'm old
oh,
school.
oh no. He has to write it down, ladies and gentlemen. What's
I'm
going on
old
with this
school.
write down
I
thing?
keep, I keep my journal.
That's kind of funny. Why?
I
I mean,
write
why
it
are you still
down
writing it down, man?
because
Isn't it much easier? I mean, we're not having an argument here, ladies and gentlemen. They both work. I like to
wow.
use mine on my phone because it's with me all the time. But I mean, why does writing in a journal, and people do it, it's probably 50-50 in the world, but why does writing in a journal do it for you? I'm just curious.
Well, I don't matter about each. I think you need to do one or the other to get it out of your
Yeah.
head. For me, the reason that writing is more important is because it takes me back to my childhood, to when my grandmother, God rest her soul, would always teach us that when we were kids, writing things cleanses you more. And that's what she used to tell us when we were kids. So that's the way was brought up. So that's what I'm used to. It allows me to reflect, but it also helps me to think, have my thoughts be a lot better as I'm writing things down. Because I've learned in working in technology as long as I did, when I type stuff out, I do the shorthand and I leave things out. But when I write them in a notebook, I write every word that I'm thinking of, and that helps me a lot better.
Hmm. You probably heard this phrase before that consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. Consistency
Yes,
is the key. And having said that, what do most people struggle with? Well, myself included from time to time, consistency. So now, since you talk to the group that has to get going and get started, things have happened. Let's talk to the all stars. I would like to say the all stars because I know that's all of you that are on the other
that's
side.
right.
And they're like, what's Marcus' thoughts and ideas so I can stay the course, so I can stay consistent. I get going, but I got to keep going and keep going and keep going. And I'm sure the right mentality has a thought behind that. I'll say it like that.
The thought is every night, in all honesty, I write down 10 goals that I want to complete every day. I do it every night. Every morning, I get up, I say my prayers, I read my Bible. That's what I do. And then I do read my list of the 10 goals that I have set for that day. That keeps me consistent with everything that I'm going to work through. Everything. It doesn't matter what it is. It makes me focus throughout the entire day. That's what I do every day.
Well, that's a good way to go, man. One of my favorite questions to ask, it's one of my favorite, is of all the mentors you had, and I know you had so many mentors along this journey of life, but what's one idea from any one of the mentors that you're going to share with us that's inside of your heart and that we can benefit from? And you, the viewer, you love this at 11 o'clock every single night daily. You get to lean forward because Marcus is going to share something from one of his mentors, a person you may never meet. So if you're here for the first time, you may never meet them, but you can use the one idea or principle for the rest of your life. Tune in now. All right, Marcus, talk to us.
The one idea that I learned from my mentor was to help me to understand that I am the greatest at what I am supposed to do. And I say that to myself every night before I go to bed. I am the greatest at what I am supposed to do. And I've found my purpose, and that is coaching, speaking, training about the right mentality to get people on the right path for themselves. So I am the greatest in what I am assigned to do.
Wow. What does Marcus do when he's not out saving the world, man? Yeah, he got these superpowers. What do you do for fun these days?
Oh man, I love comic books and movies. Ever since I was a kid, I go to the movies. Every time a new movie comes out, I'm at the movies. And I love taking my girls. I have three daughters, one son. Of course, my two older kids. My oldest daughter is 30, my son is 30. But I have two younger kids, and they're 22 and 18. So we go to the movies every time a new movie comes out. We go see it that Sunday morning or afternoon, early afternoon after church. We'll go to the movies once the new movie release. Now, my daughter, my oldest daughter, and my son are now joining us. So it's like going back to when they were little kids. So that's fun. It's fun.
You're fortunate. You must be one of those really cool dads because 18, they're still hanging out with you, going to the
Yeah.
movies. I mean, golly, you must have the right mentality going on somewhere. My sons, they're in the opposite direction. Wherever dad is, they're going that way. but,
It's
but
just for the movies,
congratulations.
though. It's for nothing else. Just the movies.
Okay, good.
And it's probably
Good. I'm about
because
to
I'm
say.
paying for it. It's probably because I'm paying for it.
Oh, okay. Then that makes sense. You're paying for it. Got to get popcorn. Got to get something to eat. But it's
Yeah.
well worth it. I know because I can see the big smile on your face, man. The chuckle, your eyes just lit up. You start talking about them. So
Yes.
congratulations, a family man,
Thank
all
you.
in. We have a segment here called "Today is my January 1st," and for those folks
Mm.
that tune in every night daily, at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Whether you're tuning in, watching us on Apple TV, or whether you're on Amazon, or whether you listen to the podcast, or maybe listen to us live, it doesn't matter. And for those that subscribe to the YouTube channel, thank you so much, by the way. You can find us on YouTube at I am Shay Brown. You know you can go and say those magical words that we say every night, which is today is my January 1st. Like today is my January 1st. Happy New Year to you, by the way. Happy New Year. Doesn't that just feel good? And for all of the new viewers, for those folks that are tuning in for the first time, welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Today is my January 1st represents our own personal mantra at the Happy Entrepreneur Show. It means you get a fresh start. Today is my January 1st means you get a do-over. It means the past, no matter what the past is, no longer equals the future. So my question to Marcus A. Wright on the other side is, when he hears those words, today is my January 1st, what does he hear? And more importantly, what was one of his January 1st moments?
When I hear January 1st, in all honesty, I hear another year that I'm able to be around. And I'm super excited. So that means that I'm still not finished with my mission, because God hasn't called me home. But what I started to do is I started to plan the next 30 days, and then the next 30 days after that, and then the next 30 days after that. And I get moving, man. I get excited. So if it was January 1st today, new plans would be executed, more fun will be happening, and I'm going to be changing the world one person at a time, using the right mentality so that they can understand what they need to do.
So well said. I love it, man. With that being said, what type of clients are you bringing on at your firm these days, if any? And number two, how can folks best connect with you over and beyond this conversation?
Well, the new clients that I'm bringing on right now, I'm doing a corporate thing. I'm working with a client to help them with their team building and their different personalities. So we're working on a personality team building exercise. It's going to be going on for a while. But I also take on individual clients, and actually very shortly I'm going to be making a major announcement. You're going to hear it right here first, right now, with I am Shay Brown. Shay is my friend, and I've learned so much from Shay. But my announcement is very soon, and you will see it happening on Facebook Live and everywhere, I'm going to be launching a 4:35 a.m. class for 45 minutes every day, a 30-day boot camp on how to prepare your mind for that day. That's what we're going to be doing soon. That's coming.
Wow, that's exciting. We're behind the scenes. This is the first time we have a big exposure. He's pulled back the big black curtain, ladies and gentlemen. Why did you decide to do this? I mean, can I ask the question? I mean, I don't know if I'm supposed to not say anything, but why did you decide to do it, man? 4:35 a.m. Why? Why now?
Because everyone gets up every morning, and unfortunately there are people that don't like their job, or they're frustrated about their job, or they're frustrated about what they're doing, and they need something to get their mindset correct to go conquer that day and prepare themselves for their exit strategy on whatever it is that they're going to do next. So I want to be able to pour into them every morning, and it's coming very, very soon. I'm finishing the final touches on every day what the exercises will be. I'm super excited about it. I'm probably going to do a week of Facebook Live or something, and then launch it. So it's coming within the next few weeks. Kid you not.
Oh.
And
I'm excited. This is cool. Now, what is it called again?
So this is going to be the Right Mentality Morning.
Okay, the Right Mentality Morning. I like that. 4:35 a.m. Is that Central Time, Eastern Time, Pacific Time?
I'm a Central dude. I'm sorry. Central Time.
I'm just curious. I know the world doesn't revolve around Central Time, by the way. It revolves around the East Coast, just so that you know. I'm in Washington, D.C. Okay, I'm joking. But so it is Central Time, so we get a little more time over here, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Well, let me say first, Marcus A. Wright, thanks so much, man, for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We appreciate it. I know that you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. So you're giving us the most precious resource you have, which is your time. So thanks a lot, my friend.
Thank you, Shay. And the best way to reach me is Right Mentality on Instagram, or you can look at my website, which is www.therightmentality.com.
Love it. I love it. www.therightmentality.com. therightmentality.com, or go with Instagram for those folks that are modern. Just go put at Right Mentality, and he'll pop right back. You can even send him a DM. I'm sure he'll respond, or someone from his team will respond as well. With that being said, thank you, the viewers. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you coming here every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Without you, there is no show. And I wait for every night at this moment just to share these one words. I never get tired of it. And I want you to know that from the bottom of my heart, I mean it, that you're awesome, that you're amazing, that you're incredible, and that you've got greatness inside you, and that today is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason, your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. With that being said, my name, in case you forgot, Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. Remember, time is long. Life is short. You got to live in that moment. And you got to make it count. God bless. We out. Thanks a lot, Marcus. Appreciate you, man. Peace, everybody. We out of here.